what we got here, we've got a 3-bedroom stone house in a village just on the edge of the Cognac Vineyards. It's a beautiful location. It's got a garden, it's got a courtyard, outbuildings, most importantly with the potential to convert. We're thinking gites straight away, aren't we? Now, elements of the house are 250 years old. So instantly we're talking about surveys. I think Jaz's going to talk a bit more about that later. Last summer it was on the market for 210,000 euros, which is about 180 grand. Okay? Now, let's look at the buying cost of this. Deposit-wise, you can still get finance over in France, thank the Lord. About 15% deposit will cost you about £27,000. With your stamp duty, notary fees, legal fees, arrangements, blah, 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 you're probably looking at putting down £43,000. There's a load of other costs associated with buying a property over in France, and that's what we're going to come into later and talk about budgets. So all in all, you're down for £43,000. You've got mortgage payments. Essentially, your annual cost for this place are £10,000. Okay, now let's look at the rental for this. If you go best case scenario, high season, mid season, low season, best case scenario, you're probably looking around 28 weeks. So you could be looking around £12,000 rental. Worst case scenario, 16 weeks, 7 grand. So instantly you need to start looking at, if you want to make money out of this, you're probably not going to get the yield against the purchase price what you put down. But the thing about this property is the potential development.
Well, I think with this property, whenever you're looking at a property of this kind of age, you're going to have to make sure that you've got an independent survey. Now, this isn't always the norm in France. A lot of people don't do it. And if you can't find a surveyor, then get a builder, get a buildings inspection and make sure you know exactly what you're getting in for. The likelihood is a property of this age is going to need to have maintenance. However, it's been standing there for 250 years. So it's not going to fall down. It's not like one of your new builds that maybe has been finished off a little bit shoddily. Now, once you get a builder in, for outbuildings and converting into gites, they will be able to give you a price per square metre. So they'll be able to give you a baseline price. The complete cost will very much depend on the quality of the finishes and the materials that you use. So there can be a lot of variables. It's really, really important if you're going to undertake a project like this to make sure you know what all the costs are going to be up front so you don't get yourself into deep water. Because although, yes, you're looking at potentially making money out of gites, you've got to balance that out. Will you actually make money once you've put in all the extra costs for the renovation? Talking about getting independent surveys, I mean, that's not the only independent advice that you will need to get. In France, the usual procedure is to buy through a notaire, and the notaire acts on behalf of the state. So they will make sure that the property is legal, they'll make sure that everything is above board, but they're not actually acting in your interests necessarily. They're acting on behalf of the state. So whilst the property will be legal, you need to make sure that your own lawyer is pointing out any particular things that might be relevant because they've got a duty of care to you.